Halloween.
We can talk about Halloween right now.
We don't talk about Halloween. We're a church.
Why not? I am a fan of Halloween because.
Hey, God, I'm not with
what other
not on his team.
What other holiday? I'm a people person, so I know for you want to get off my lawn.
Are you a devil person?
Are you a dead people person?
Hey, Christmas started as a pagan holiday, right? And we changed it into, so who knows?
Yeah, but Halloween started as a Christian holiday.
And turned into pagan. Let's bring it back.
You can make the argument for
bring
Christmas
it back to a Christian holiday.
Redeeming it, sanctifying
redeeming it. No.
Halloween went the other way.
Halloween went the other way, and it is, you have the ghosts and the ghouls and the
a closet
bloody
druid.
hand stumps and stuff sitting in the yard.
That's
but anyway,
you probably have a jack-o'-lantern outside your house, don't you?
Yes, it's not a one that I carved though. It's a one that's plastic. But
all right, this is probably not the time for a big Halloween conversation.
No, but
we have staff lunch we have to get to.
Can we come dressed up?
Well, Halloween is great because you're supposed to go to your neighbors.
Should we do a costumed podcast?
Let's do a costume podcast.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's over here.
I'm still trying to defend my point. No one else cares. Everyone's moved on. Welcome to the Gathering Greenhouse, a podcast to help us grow together. I'm Steve.
I'm David.
I'm John.
And we got some things to talk about today.
I just feel like there's got to be one more thing that happens there.
Like what? What would you like to see happen?
I don't know what
Steve,
it is.
I'm David. I'm John. And we are...
the three...
here to pump you up. You guys even get that?
Yeah.
Okay.
I thought we established that SNL has gone downhill and no one watches it anymore.
It's irretrievably.
Well, what is it when you've reached the bottom of the hill and you somehow just start going further down? Because they're not downhill
when
anymore.
You've reached the bottom of the hill and you just keep going further down.
I don't know. Retirement? I'm not sure. Guess if you have a good retirement life.
I don't know anybody who still watches it. Like, I see clips, but I don't know anybody who's like, you know what?
I don't even know when it's on.
I do know someone, because when David and I...
When is it even on?
Saturday night.
Oh, right, yeah.
But when last time we bashed Saturday Night Live, I had a friend who reached out to me and did not like that we bashed Saturday Night Live because they still watch it, and then asked me, do you even, where are these critiques coming from? I'm like, I don't know, because I don't watch it.
I have so many questions right now.
Yeah.
Number one, someone actually is so passionate.
Yeah.
About Saturday night.
I was surprised that someone was that passionate about.
And number two is someone who's watching us.
Yeah. Right.
And those two things converge.
Probably no longer. I'm sure no longer watching us.
Yeah, because you offended him.
He rage quit us.
Yeah.
He went and started watching Saturday Night Live. This might be the one thing worse than Saturday Night Live.
Yeah.
Who is so passionate about Saturday Night Live that they defend it?
Yeah.
I just don't.
My friend. My friend, yeah.
Are you still friends?
Yeah.
All right, friend of Steve's.
Yeah.
I want you to
Joey
leave us a message in the comments because we think Steve's making you up.
No, it's true. I think he was ready to fight you also over it. So we could be arranged.
We will
maybe
sponsor
a pastor
this fight.
because he's a pastor, so it could be a pastor battle.
Bring it. Okay. Bring it. I have a low center of gravity. I'm very hard to fight.
It's like the Mark Zuckerberg, Elon Musk fight.
Mike Tyson versus Logan Paul, something like that.
Yeah. So we're going to talk about some events today.
You know who I wouldn't fight?
Mike Tyson?
No, Craig Groeschel.
Oh, yeah. I wouldn't fight him either.
No, man. That guy, he's got pipes.
Yeah, he's ripped. Well, we're going to talk about some events, but I wanted to ask one question before we get into that is, have you been enjoying this sermon series that we've been doing right now? What, you don't want to get into it?
No, I don't know what the answer to that is.
Okay.
I think the answer to that is no.
Okay.
Yeah.
Why is that? You wish you didn't even have to do it?
It's just not my thing.
Okay. Why is it not your thing?
Generally speaking, I prefer going through a book to doing a topic.
Right.
Generally
Topical.
speaking, I think I'm just more. That's more in my wheelhouse.
I could see that.
And then on top of that, if I am doing a topical series, I think my preference is to do a timeless topical series. Let's talk about anxiety or let's talk about marriage.
You teased on that. Is that what next week is going to be?
Well, next week the sermon itself is just about because I mean, obviously, election season brings a lot of anxiety for people. So.
Right. I think I'm pretty sure Southbrook just did an anxiety one, so I'm sure that there's a lot of people who are dealing with that in this season right now.
Right.
But
yep. So
I've heard good things from people about this sermon series. So I know people are getting good stuff out of it.
Well, I hope that's true. I would have characterized, not yesterday's, but a week ago, I would have characterized that as like in my bottom 10 of sermons.
Which is funny because
times.
Maria and I both said that we really enjoyed it. And
I saw a ton of people share that one.
Yes, yes.
So this is amazing.
Okay, so and beyond that, like, I work with groups, so I'm always talking to the group leaders. They'll show up on Sunday and tell me how their groups are going. And they specifically said that a lot of our groups right now have newer people to the church in it, and they were saying that they have really enjoyed this sermon series and has given them something to come back every Sunday for.
Well, I'm happy about that.
Yeah.
Just it's just not my groove.
Yeah.
It's also just not a fun season to
it isn't
exist in general. So,
yeah.
Like
I did like this week's a lot better because it did feel a little more timeless.
Did you love it? Did you get that? You see that?
That's
there,
good. That's
David?
good.
even though you didn't like it and you weren't
That's
were
good.
disagreeing with
I didn't feel good about it,
it. Yeah,
but
you loved it anyway.
yeah. That's you're really progressing. I like that one. That was well done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
all right, aren't we supposed to be doing something?
We are. So we have a lot of stuff coming up at the church. This is kind of the busy season. Easter is the Super Bowl of Sundays, but I think
we should say the Super Bowl is the Easter of football.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Instead of it's like
whatever way you want to look at it. But this is probably the busiest time for church world.
In a lot of ways, the fall,
The fall into winter, really up through, because you got Christmas in there, you got the holidays, you got a lot of stuff you have to get done before Thanksgiving hits, and everybody is like back to church. So everyone is like going full go right now, preparing for that. So the first big event that we have coming up is our Vision Sunday.
Yep.
You just talked about it this Sunday. You brought up what would you call Stephanie? She's
like our campaign
the CEO
leader. She is
this vision campaign that we have going on. So she came up on Sunday, did a great job, and then you showed some pictures of everybody else who is on the team. So there's a big volunteer team involved in it. So can you tell us, tease Vision Sunday? Why are we doing this? Why should people care about it? Why should they come to it?
Yep. So we actually, back in August, we talked a little bit about what's coming like physically for the church. And we're going to do this renovation where we're creating more room for kids, more room for students, more room in the worship center. And of course, the purpose in all that is so that more people can be more connected to Jesus. That's that's kind of baseline. That's the why. But this More Than Able series that we're going to be doing, that's going to be a church-wide campaign. So it's going to include everybody's going to be a part of it. We're going to be doing stuff during the week. Yeah. John's putting a lot of time into it.
And when you say everybody, you're saying staff, you're saying volunteers, you're saying people who just attend on Sunday, like everybody.
Yeah,
group members, everybody.
Yep, it's
kids,
groups,
students.
Yep, all that. Yep, the kids will be doing
literally
stuff.
When you say everybody, you mean everybody.
Yeah, so the kids are going to be doing this big art project as part of it. It's a lot of cool things happening.
Okay.
But the point is for us to talk about the fact that we serve and we follow a God who is more than able. And so we're going to be saying, hey, what does that mean for us, that he's more than able to accomplish these things? And really kind of look at there's two pieces to this equation. One is that we trust that God can do way more than we imagine, right? Things that we couldn't even possibly imagine. We trust that he's able to do that. Now, we don't know what he's going to do, but we trust that he's going to do the good thing. But at the same time, while we trust, we also work. And so we got to talk about what it looks like for us to take what he has given us and reinvest that back into his kingdom, into his purposes. And so that's what we're going to be talking about. I'm excited about it. But Vision Sundays, where we kick the whole thing off.
Okay.
And we'll be talking about, what's coming, why is it coming, how are we going to do it, and how can everybody be a part of this really exciting next chapter of our church.
Okay. So if you show up on Vision Sunday, is it going to look different than a normal Sunday, or is there still going to be a sermon? How will that be?
No, I think it'll look a lot like a normal service. I mean, I'm assuming that's correct. But it'll be very aligned, and the sermon won't be a normal sermon.
Yeah.
But it will be a normal sermon length.
Yeah.
It will feel probably a little bit different, but it's still going to be right out of the Bible. Preaching from Ephesians that day. So.
Okay. Right. So.
My turn.
Yeah. Well, who would you say should come to Vision Sunday?
Absolutely everybody.
Okay.
Yeah. If you live within 100 miles of Dayton, Ohio, you should be there.
Sunday.
Yep.
So, or just watch online.
Okay.
But no, I think everybody if you call the gathering your church home,
plan to be there.
You should be there at one of our services. Come early if you can.
Yes.
8:15, lots of seats.
And we get tons of people asking all these questions about what's coming. Everyone knows something's happening. So if you want to know, this is where you're going to find out.
Right.
And if you're watching this and you do come here regularly, sit towards the middle and sit towards the front. That would be helpful if we're expecting a big crowd for it.
Can we insert a commercial right here in the podcast?
Sure.
For how people should seat where they sit.
Video?
Yeah, let's just insert it right here.
We need to talk. My name is David, and I'm your friend. So I want to help you grow. And today we're going to have a challenging conversation to help us address an area of growth we can all work on. Today we're going to talk about sitting next to each other. Because sometimes at church, when we don't sit next to each other, the room fills up before it's really full. Now there are a couple of things that you can do to learn how to better sit next to each other. And I want to go through 3 of them today. The first thing is you need to remember that it's okay to sit next to someone else. The second thing to remember is it's okay if someone sits next to you. Bruh. And the third thing to remember is that you should always be intentional when you pick your seat. Now, one of the important things for you to learn is how to introduce yourself to someone, because that will make sitting next to them so easy.
I'm Steve.
Hey, Steve, I'm Rebecca.
Hi, Rebecca.
Once you've introduced yourself to someone, it's a great time to ask them if you can sit next to them.
Do you mind if I sit next to you?
Sure.
Great.
And now that you know each other's names, you're no longer strangers, now you're friends.
Now we are best friends.
Yes, besties.
So now you know how to sit next to other people. So this Sunday, let's all put this into practice, and let's leave lots of open chairs for our guests and for those who are kind of new to the gathering. So this can be a welcoming and comfortable place for them.
Bam.
Okay.
All right. So go ahead,
All right,
David. Sorry.
So another thing that's coming up is hopefully we had to postpone the first one, but hopefully we're going to be having some bonfires.
Yeah.
And these are always a fun part of our church culture. Why should someone come to a bonfire?
Someone should come to a bonfire because we are created to live in community. Like that's why the church exists, to use our gifts and talents and care for one another through knowing each other. And one of the best ways to get to know someone is to come to an event where it's designed just to get to know each other. And that's what a bonfire is we throw up a fire. We're going to have some s'mores there. It's just going to be a laid back night to come and get to meet some new people who maybe you have been coming to the church for a while, or maybe you haven't been, but just a wide variety of people there. So it's good to come, make some connections, get to know some people. So who should come is just like Vision Night. Anyone and everyone, there's a place for you there.
And it's actually similar in purpose to the campaign that's coming up. Is the church has gotten significantly larger even since I've been here, and I find myself on Sundays I'll meet people and I'll be like, "Oh, are you new to the church?" And they've been coming for several months.
Yes,
and you don't. When there's so many people there, it's hard to get to know everybody. But at a smaller thing like the bonfire, you get to meet some of those people that maybe just you've never run into because they go to a different service. And it's just really kind of a cool thing to get that cross section of, different services and different people there.
Yeah. So I would say there's really two categories of people. There's people who are connected, people who are unconnected in events like this. And connected people, they want to hang out with their friends. So I would say to someone like that who's maybe been coming here for a while is it's okay to say hi to your friends, but don't stop there. Go up and introduce yourself to someone, meet some new people. It doesn't have to be anything programmed. It's just hey, I'm not sure if I met you before. I'm Steve.
And you know what might happen is you might find a better friend.
You might.
And you might decide to dump your old friends and go with a new friend. You never know.
Happen.
It's always good to upgrade.
It's always good to upgrade.
Yeah.
And then the people who are...
Don't dump your friends. Keep your friends.
Yeah.
Friends are good.
So if you find yourself in that category, go out of your way to say hi to someone.
Look to upgrade.
Look to upgrade.
Yeah. All right.
Because people just want to be seen and they want to be known,
Right.
and I think that for people who call the gathering their home, we always, we're in the series of more, that we're going in the campaign of more, right? Mm-hmm. We want more people to be connected so that more people can connect with others.
Yeah.
And really, they say that if people don't make meaningful connections in the first 6 months that they're at a church, they're probably not going to stick around.
Yeah.
I know that you can, and you still could, right? But it's really, we take part in the mission of the church, and that is part of the mission of our church, is to help people get connected.
Yeah. Yep. And it's a chance to upgrade your friends.
Are you looking to upgrade friends?
No,
at this?
no,
Okay.
no.
You do not want an upgrade.
No, I've leveled up to the top level. Yeah.
You can't get any higher.
No. So, all right. So part of our connection strategy is that we also like to serve.
Yeah.
And some really cool service opportunities coming up here near the end of the year.
Yeah.
We have Operation Christmas Child. And we have our giving tree.
Yes.
So why should somebody get involved in those things?
Okay, so there are two that are similar but different in the strategy. So Operation Christmas Child, or OCC as we like to call it sometimes, is international. So you're reaching kids with the gospel and their families with the gospel overseas. So the reason I love that one is because literally anybody can take part in it. You just pick up a shoebox. It gives you the exact instructions of what to put in that shoebox. You bring it back. They ship it to someone. It's a chance to share the gospel to kids. And it's a big deal to kids. These kids, this may be the only Christmas stuff that they're getting. So that can be hugely impactful for a little kid to get something, to know that they're loved, that someone cares about them. So anybody, and I think that anybody who loves kids, anybody who loves the gospel, and for me, as a parent, it's a really practical way to do something with your kids, to say it's more than just about us. We're in this together with other people. We all need somebody, because who knows, someday you may need help from someone. We're all connected in this. We should love people when we have the means and ability to do that. And this is just such an easy way to do that. I think that's why I love it, because it doesn't have to be complicated. You put out that shoebox, you fill the shoebox, you bring it back. I think that's why it's been so scalable and so successful, is because of that. So you have that one, and anybody should take part in that. Grab a box. The Giving Tree, I really love the Giving Tree one because it's local, right? We live in a community where there are families in the West Carrollton area that need help. We should be loving our community. We should be loving those people in the community. This one's a little bit more work, but I think that it's more work because we know who these people are, and we're actually taking care of needs that they personally said, I need this. Right?
Yeah. So you're actually buying a gift for a specific
person. We know these people. Yeah. We're partnering with the schools. The schools have reached out to these people. These people have responded back. These are the specific sizes of clothes, the specific toys we're looking for. So we are literally, they know that we are helping them with a specific need. And that's really cool in itself. That's our community. It's our people. We should own that. We should be loving our community. So that one is, and I like the way they do it too, because it's just grab a tag. They've done all the legwork. The Giving Tree people have done all the legwork to make it as simple as possible. Grab an ornament, buy the things in the ornament, return it on that date, and they deliver the gifts personally to the households that need it.
And one of the cool things about Giving Tree is that it is local.
Yeah.
And we have over the years had families who we've reached out to through Giving Tree come back to us and say, hey, you know, you were there for us in our time of need, and we've got this other thing that's coming to our lives. Can you be there? And we actually then get to start meeting spiritual needs because we met material needs in the past. So I like that about that. A lot of fun.
Yes, that's the ultimate goal of what we do is to make more people know about Jesus. But sometimes you do things in a tangible way to help people with no strings attached. I think that's okay too. But we want people to know this. It's because of the love of Jesus that we are doing these things.
Yep.
You know.
Yeah. So far we've talked about how you can upgrade your service.
Yeah.
Like how and also how you can upgrade your friends.
Right.
So what else are we going to talk about today?
So the last thing that I wanted to talk about is upgrading Christmas.
Our worship
Eve.
pastor.
Oh. I think we've hit the ceiling. I don't know if we can upgrade any higher. Honestly.
Thanks,
guys. We have the multi-talented John.
It's really funny because Dan Grubb just texted me while this is going on with a picture of me. It was like, "You're great."
That's nice.
That was really nice. So,
wait, Dan, I didn't get a text
I have
message.
Dan's approval, so I don't need yours. So.
Did he like take a picture of you during the service? That's awesome. Why didn't anybody do that for me?
You would hate it.
I would absolutely hate that.
I'm pretty sure people post stuff you on Facebook saying.
Do they?
Oh yeah, they do.
Well, I know John does.
I do.
Yeah.
So.
And I have a secret account. It's all going to be like David memes, weird quotes, photoshops.
But anyway, we're upgrading Christmas Eve this year.
Yes.
In capacity wise, but as far as service wise, you can expect all the same traditional stuff here.
Right.
It's a great time to lean in on what we have done in the past.
We're adding a service.
We are. We're upgrading the service.
So if I could get it right, maybe what are they? 3 o'clock, 4:30, and 6. Is that right? No.
It is 3:30,
3:30,
4:45,
4:45,
6 p.m.
and 6. That's close. All right. So somewhere in there.
Yeah.
So 3 service times, Christmas Eve, really fun time. You know, we sing Christmas songs. We do something for the kids.
Yeah.
We light candles. I think it's a fun thing for families to do. You know, show up, go out to eat afterwards, or go home and do your tradition. Or, you know, for our family, it's always go get Chinese afterwards. And I think that's just because, you know, I'm there for all 3, and sometimes the kids and Marianne are there for all 3, and it's like, well, just grab Chinese on the way home. And so Chinese has kind of become our Christmas Eve thing.
It's like take out, you take it home and eat it at home. Okay.
Yeah. So it's kind of just our thing after Christmas Eve. But, you know, if you don't have a tradition like that, great year, upgrade your tradition.
Yep.
You know, come up with something, pick your service time. When should they come?
Which service should they come to?
I mean, I know we're way out. We'll talk about this as we get closer. But
are you asking which service should they come to? I would say, you know, generally what we've seen is later is usually the less attended service, but we have moved it up. So I would say the 3:31 are the people who probably don't have much going on that day, right? Maybe they're not working or their family's not working.
They've already got their presents.
Maybe they're retired, whatever it is. They
travel a little bit. Or
they travel a little bit. They want. So for that crowd, I would say if you're in those categories that I just said, and you have something going on at night, which a lot of people here at the gathering, a lot of people want to go do family stuff, Christmas Eve. So I would say, you know, come to that one, come to the later one, because that one's generally the less attended one. Traditionally, hard to say this year because we're tweaking the times a little bit. Yep. But I would imagine the biggest one is probably going to be the 4:30.
The middle one. I think so, for sure, yeah.
Because, you know, people generally off work by then. People want to come in and get that checked off their list of the traditions that they do, and then go on to be able to either wrap presents for kids or do whatever they have in the evening. So I would say if you can do either of the 3:30 or the 6 o'clock, that would probably be the best.
All right. You think people are going to be mad that we're talking about Christmas already?
Yes, because I am.
I mean,
you're mad about it?
I don't
well,
like
I like to wait till after Thanksgiving, but if you're planning, you can't help it.
Right.
There's nothing
What about
you can do.
Halloween?
We can talk about Halloween right now.
We don't talk about Halloween. We're a church.
Why not? I am a fan of Halloween because
Hey, God, I'm not with
What
him.
other?
Not on his team.
What other holiday? I'm a people person, so I know for you want to get off my lawn.
Are you a devil person?
Are you a dead people person?
Hey, Christmas started as a pagan holiday, right? And we changed it into. So who knows?
Yeah, but Halloween started as a Christian holiday.
And turned into pagan. Let's bring it back.
You can make the argument for
bring
Christmas
it back to a
that you're
Christian
like
holiday.
redeeming it, sanctifying
redeeming it. No.
Halloween went the other way.
Halloween went the other way, and it is. You have the ghosts and the ghouls and the
a closet
bloody
druid.
hand stumps and stuff sitting in the yard.
That's where
But
all those
anyway,
cats went.
You probably have a jack-o'-lantern outside your house, don't you?
yes, it's not a one that I carved though. It's a one that's plastic. But
All right. This is probably not the time for a big Halloween conversation.
no,
though.
but
We have staff
I like,
lunch we have to
Can we
get to.
come dressed up?
Well,
for
Halloween is great because you're supposed to go to your neighbors.
Should we do a costumed podcast?
Let's do a
goodness.
costume podcast.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's over here.
I'm still trying to
He's like
defend
gonna
my
open his
point. No one else
Halloween
cares. Everyone's
closet and
moved
pick out
on.
his favorite one.
It's not my favorite
You know,
holiday, but
your black robe that you wear and when you do the sacrifices.
yeah, keep your black cats indoors, David.
They don't, sacrifice. You use black cats. They sacrifice like sheep and stuff. Like I don't.
No,
That's
they
not what
no.
Steve does.
I
Have
totally
you been
do-
to Springfield?
like.
So
Fake news. Sorry.
next week we'll have
And
Jamie.
now we're back. After that little bit got cut out.
Emma, you know what to do.
Around Halloween, people do get black cats.
Yeah.
That's happens. So I know that you have a lot of cats at your house, so you need to keep them indoors for Halloween.
Time for us to upgrade with a different pastor. To even suggest that I would have a cat. Just.
What's next? Are you going to dunk an Oreo in orange juice or something,
Yeah.
Steve?
That's another
Tried-
good
have you-
podcast.
my
episode
question
for us to
is,
do,
have
yeah.
either of you tried it?
Cats or
Dunking an
Neither.
Oreo in orange
Neither.
juice?
probably?
How do you know it's not good then?
I think everybody knows.
Brush your teeth first, then dunk the
And
Oreo,
now we're done.
and
Now
then
we're
put it
done.
out
All
and
right.
eat it.
Thanks for watching our podcast.
Until we see you all again. Enjoy. Bye.